What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. We've got a bit of a different one today and I've got some explaining to do and we're going to have a real good chat. So it starts off from the 1st of May. Since then, up until August, I had only uploaded one YouTube video and I had quite a few comments, quite a few concerned messages, and I thank you all for that, asking where I was. Well, in this video, I'm going to be explaining that and also going into depth about my job and what YouTube means to me, because it's a very big aspect of my life now which has grown more than I could have ever wished. But it's time we have a sit down and have a chat about it all. The video isn't going to be completely drawn out and long-winded because I'm aware you don't want to be watching me sitting here talking about my life for 40-50 minutes. So we're going to keep this brief, but get yourself a cuppa. So I'm going to be taking, it's not scripted, this video, it's all sort of off the bat, but I do have some pointers on here, so I'll be looking down onto the screen a little bit as we progress through the video. So what I first wanted to talk about was what YouTube means to me. So my first upload on YouTube was the 15th of March 2018, more than 7 years ago, which is just ridiculously crazy. I don't know where the time's gone. My main uploads were restoring my Mark II Fiesta during the lockdown, so my Maritime Blue 1989 Mark II Fiesta. I restored the full underside of that, and that's what really kick-started the YouTube channel. In the early years as well, it was just me tinkering about, having a fiddle with my Fiesta. I really liked the classic Fiesta. It was my first classic car and it was great to make videos for YouTube, but also experience and restore and repair my own classic. Now with these uploads, there was no real schedule or anything like that. It was nice and chill. I actually recorded all the videos back then on my phone, and I edited them on my phone as well, then just released them to you guys, and it was great to see a little audience creating, being on its way to become what it is today. So after 2020, more sort of 2021 onwards, I was really pushing the videos out by this time. I had a schedule, I upload on Thursdays, well every Thursday, 6 o'clock, as many of you guys will know, and pretty much these videos included working on a full range of different vehicles from classic to modern. I also, well, I've got it written here, I brought and sold a few, I attended a variety of shows and events, and I also got to auction houses up and down the country. And that's one real major thing that sort of kickstarted my YouTube channel, all the auction videos which you guys seem to love, and I really do enjoy going to the auction houses, although I don't enjoy when I can't keep my hands in my pockets because I end up slashing the cash. But no, honestly, I do enjoy the auctions. I've become a bit more controlled, shall we say, a little bit more controlled in recent years, but it's still good fun and I love attending all the auction houses. And during this time, I actually purchased my dream car, which is sat just behind me on axle stands, my Mark II Escort in hearing aid beige. Now I love this car and I purchased it in November 2021. I've carried out so much work on it, the list is pretty long at this point. But the main thing I've done to this, I've converted it from left-hand drive to right-hand drive. I've restored the full underside. I'm just finishing off the back section now, but I will be including pictures and videos. You can see that I've spent a lot of time and effort on this, although I would admit not enough time as I would have liked to. I don't think I regret not putting enough time into this, but I would like to put more time into it in the future to try and get it out at least, do you know what I mean, next year or the year after, and stop sort of dragging it on too much. But we'll touch on that a little bit further along in this video. And since I started the channel, I've loved uploading videos. It's just been really exciting. I've managed to gain skills, I've worked on different vehicles, I've loved buying and selling a few vehicles. It's just been great. The feedback I get from you guys watching is amazing as well. I could have never have dreamt of the support I get daily, which is just unreal. And you might all be wondering now, why on earth are you telling us this? We know some of you have watched since the start, but I'm telling you guys this because it's quite relevant, and the reason why I didn't upload is because during my time on YouTube, I've also maintained a full-time job, and that was working for Royal Mail Fleet. And no, before you say it, I wasn't a postie. I was fixing and repairing their vehicles. So anything that came in, you can do things from a service to a timing chain, a gearbox, anything, suspension work, diagnostics, everything was done in-house, and I absolutely loved that job. So I came out of school when I was 16 and I'd done an apprenticeship through them, which lasted 4 years in the end, but I came out with level 3 qualified in light vehicle maintenance and repair. I come out in HGV qualifications, vehicle repair and maintenance as well. I also got aircon, even though Royal Mail vans don't have aircon, and loads of other bits and bobs. I'm also a MOT tester, which I picked up from Royal Mail, which was amazing, and the job was just perfect. It was, yeah, go in, crack on, have a good time, and go home at the end of the day with a smile on your face, knowing that you had done a good job. Now, as I said, I did really enjoy working for Royal Mail, and I actually kept that fairly private because, as I'm sure a lot of you will understand, I have a private life away from YouTube, and I don't like to sort of shout about my personal stuff, especially who I'm currently working for, because it's just not what belongs on the internet. I don't feel comfortable putting that out there. But now I've left Royal Mail, I'm more than happy to talk about it, and sort of the reason why I'm making this video, to understand or make you guys understand sort of why I left and what I'm going to do now, even though we won't go into too many details about that. So I started to look online, and I found this job that I've always wanted, the company I've always wanted to work for as well. So I thought, you know what, I'll apply for that, I'll go for it. And it was a massive step, really daunting, nerve-wracking. Haven't done an interview since I was 16. So I went there, it was perfect. I think they liked me because they offered me a job a week later, and the rest is history really. I had to give in my notice to my governor, who had been my boss for 10 years, which yet again was a very daunting process. And yeah, they took it all really well. I mean, I think I was, let's just say, sort of the baby of the workshop. I was the youngest one there until recent years, and yeah, it's just one of them things. We've all got to move on in life. Nothing's guaranteed, so I felt it was the right time to move. Now, my main reasons for moving, my personal reasons, are that I just want to broaden my skill set and I want to expand my knowledge on vehicles, because working at Royal Mail, you just work on the vans. Most of them are diesels. They had a small percentage that were petrol, probably 5% or 10% were petrol. But you get the same faults, you get the same sort of errors occurring, and yeah, you get used to it. I'm not going to say that every job you're going to be getting something new every day. I'm just saying that after 10 years of doing that, I fancied something else. And I'm certainly not saying that won't happen in my new job, because it may happen. But that was my reason for leaving. I've done a solid 10 years. I actually started in 2015 at Royal Mail Fleet, and then I left in 2025, September to September. Like, I literally done 10 years, which for someone like me who's got OCD, I'm so satisfied that I've done a 10-year stint at one place. So that was good, but I'm just hoping in this new place I can broaden my skill set, broaden my knowledge, build up some confidence as well, because my work is checked by me 2, 3, 4, even 5 times sometimes, and I want to build my confidence up, and I want to become the mechanic that I dream to be. I'm not saying that I'm not a mechanic now, but I want to become the best mechanic I feel like I can be, and capable of tackling any task on a vehicle. I have just started the new role. I'm only just in my second day. I've just finished day 2, but I'm loving it at the moment. Obviously, we're in a honeymoon stage, sort of I'm just getting to grips with how the systems work and bits and bobs like that. But I will say something, I had a team brief today from the manager, and it really reminded me of my early days in Royal Mail. I used to really get on with my first manager, and it was just so good. It was really informative, structured, and I felt like he was really listening to the chaps. The same can't really be said for a couple of my other managers that I had at Royal Mail Fleet, because it was quite poor at stages. They wouldn't even come down to visit you, wouldn't even have the time of day for you. So, and that's as a collective, that's a full workshop. That's not just me saying, oh, the manager didn't come and see me. I mean, like the workshop, the manager wouldn't even show their face for a full year, but we're not talking about that. So, yeah, it's off to a good start. But I did have one main thing I was missing, and that was a toolbox. So my toolbox from Royal Mail, I will have some photos up on the screen right now. This was given to me during my early stages of my apprenticeship, probably 1 year. I think I was only 1 year in, 1 year or 2 years in. But they supply all the tools and the toolbox for you, which is really kind, and I keep my toolbox pristine. Everything's got a place, everything goes back after a job, nothing ever gets left out. Like, that is the way I work to a T. So I adored that toolbox. But the only thing is, they bought it for me, so I can't take it with me. And that's the same with everyone in Royal Mail Fleet. They buy the tools, but you can't take them with you. I think they buy the tools because of a insurance policy or something like that. They just, if you hurt yourself and you're using one of your own tools, or you're using a terrible brand and you bust a knuckle or something like that, then they wouldn't be insured or something like that. But either way, I had to leave that toolbox at Royal Mail Fleet, and yeah, it was quite gutting. So what I'd done is I went on Facebook Marketplace and I found a snap-on box. I actually found the roll cab with a top box as well. I got it home, gave it a good clean, and I really liked the top cab, but I didn't really like the bottom cab. Didn't have a lock, and it was just old, battered. It wasn't really fit for purpose, so I purchased a different bottom cab. It was quite similar to the snap-on bottom cab that I had, but it was certainly a lot bigger and in a lot better condition. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you around my new toolbox just before I dropped it off at my new place. Well, here is my new toolbox, which consists of this snap-on top box, which I'll open up in a minute. And we've also got this brittle expert sort of cab, the lower section, which I picked up fairly cheap. I actually picked up originally the top box, and I picked up this other bottom box for, I think it was 350 quid or 300 quid, something like that. But I ended up thinking this was too small, and it's also not in the best condition. If I go up close, it certainly had a life, and it just wasn't good enough for my standards. I like it because it's retro, but the top box was in a much better condition than this. And also, another downside with this cab is that it doesn't lock. This is how the toolbox looks once it's all unlocked. I've got the snap-on desk on the side of it, so this actually came with that lower cab that I was just talking about. I'm really quite happy with this, to be fair. It's a little bit weathered, but I'm not looking for perfection. I'm just going to be writing down bits and bobs on here, jotting some notes down. And this is the top box all unlocked now. I've got a few of my stickers and a few of the stickers that came with the box. Now, one section I'm really proud about is this top bit, all my sockets. So I've got my 1/2 inch impact sockets, and then I've got 3/8, I've got single depth and double depth. I've got your female Torx, the E sockets, and I've got a various sort of array of sump sockets. Also got some Torx along here with my DeWalt charger in the corner, and I've got some oil filter sockets. So quite a lot of these are good brands. I think the impact sockets are Sealy. I've got Blue Point with the 3/8 stuff, and then I've just got some US Pro sockets for the female Torx E-sockets. Sort of cheaped out a little bit, but I don't have the biggest budget to go and blow yet, but I will in sort of a couple more months once I'm on my feet again. I'm going to work through the drawers, and most of these little ones are actually empty at the moment. I will fill them up over time, but I'm going to leave them empty. I'm not going to try and clog them up too much. But I always have an odds and sods drawer, and I've just got bits and bobs in here. Got some magnets, G-clamp for pushing back calipers, a knife. I've just got lighter, Tipex, bits and bobs like that. And I've actually left this other one empty for the time being. I've got an idea of what I want to put in there, but we'll wait and see what happens. So this is my first proper drawer, the pliers. So these will snap on, and I've got some other different brands. These are Sealy. So yeah, it's getting there. I'm just sort of building it up. In here, I've got everything else I need. So I've got air gun. I've got my 1/2-inch bar, 1/2-inch extensions, 3/8 ratchet as well, and I've got this diddy little ratchet I picked up at Ford Fair actually. This was only like £8. It's a US Pro one, so it probably won't last too long, but it's a diddy little quarter ratchet. I thought that was quite cool. And then in here I've got my quarter set. Now I use this all the time for, like, I don't know, if you want to change a bulb, you want to take a door card off. I just seem to always be grabbing my quarter set, so I've got a good one of them. Actually, I'm going to show you guys it. So in here is just everything I need really for my quarter set. As I say, I find myself sort of grabbing this quite a lot. Even with the small jobs, I'll grab this, and yeah, really useful bit of kit to have. So I know it's in one of my main drawers, so I can get to it straight away. Got my little mascot here as well, egging me on to do well. What else have I got? So I've got screwdrivers in this drawer. These are small screwdrivers, just really diddy ones. And I've got these cheap and nasty, well, all cheap and nasty to be honest, apart from my snap-on ratchet screwdriver, but I will be upgrading these in the future. I have got snap-on screwdrivers at home, but I'm not actually going to put them in this box. I'm going to buy some snap-on ones for my work toolbox, as we're going to call it. In here I've got a few picks and bits like that. I've got some cheap picks, and then I've got my snap-on picks, polar opposite. One set cost like £2 and the other set cost, well, I don't even know how much I paid for them, probably about £70. Just some trim clips, just some trim removal tools, Allen keys and bits and bobs in that one. And then this is, yeah, so we've got a multimeter. I think this one's empty, yeah. And then this is a lovely drawer. This is my spanners. So I've just got some normal Sealy Premier spanners. I went for this brand for quite a few of my bits and bobs. I find it a good middle ground. It's not too cheap, but it's also not really on the pricey side. So I've got them in the spanners. They go all the way up to, I think, 22. Yeah, 22 on the spanners. But I do also have the crowfoot, I think that's what you call them, crowfoot spanners. These go all the way up to 36, I believe, 36 at the end here. And I do also have these brake pipe spanners, which are really useful. If you don't have a pair of these, then I suggest you get some, because when I'm doing sort of seized on brake nipples, or, to be honest, any bolt or nut that looks like it's going to start to slip off, these are really good. So yeah, really quite happy with that, how it's all managed to fit in one box. It looks really neat and presentable, and that's exactly how my toolbox will stay. Down here I've got a draper little kit. This is all these bits in it: Allen key, spline and Torx. I used to have one of these at my other workplace, and I just found this kit was just so good. You've also got the adapters, so they can go in 3/8 and go in half drive. So yeah, really handy bit of kit to have. And this is where my toolkit starts to become a bit sparse. There's not too much there. I've got some Sealy pry bars. I don't know, I thought they'd be a bit more meatier than this. They're quite skinny, so might end up upgrading them as well, but that's not a problem. Then I've got my hammers and file drawer. I still need to buy a couple more hammers. I've got my copper and hide hammer. I've got my little tappy hammer. Wire brush, punches, and some files, but I need to build up this drawer a little bit more, and I plan to buy a few more hammers. I'm going to get a nice snap-on one, to be fair. I want a nice snap-on hammer. And then down here, I've got all my DeWalt stuff. This is actually stuff I'm taking from home, so I'm going to have to replace this. I'm going to have to buy this again for at home. So I've got my drill, my little bit driver, and my 1/2-inch gun with 2 batteries that suit the charger at the top. And then we've all got this drawer, the one right at the bottom, that's just got a little bit of everything in it. I've just got some spares, got some gloves, got some rubber bands, a torch, ratchet strap for doing rear drums, but Quite a lot of the modern vehicles don't have drum brakes anymore. Mirror and some chains as well, just in case I need to do some engine work, hold an engine up or whatever. Now it actually doesn't look like a lot, and when I go through the drawers, definitely on the bottom cab, they just don't look full, but I'm sure I will accumulate more tools. I'm not too worried, to be honest, because I took pictures of every single drawer from my old job, and I've near or less got pretty much the same tools. It's just most of them are sort of compiled in this top section. So yeah, I'm quite happy with how this has come together. I will definitely be ordering some more bits. The guys at my last workplace kindly chipped together and got me a £160 Snap-on voucher, so I think I'm going to get the torque wrench set. Snap-on do, I think it's half, 3/8 and quarter torque wrenches, so I need to find out how much they are, but yeah, I think I'll probably grab some nice torque wrenches. Also want to put a handle on here. The bottom box didn't come with a handle, so I need to find a handle. And that is really it, to be honest. I'm quite happy with how it looks. I don't really like the stack design, but it was just what I can afford sort of at the moment. I will be getting a nice Snap-on toolbox, no doubt, later down the line. I really like the white one, the white classic Ford one that Snap-on done, so we'll wait and see, but for now, this is perfect. So they're the tools that I'm working with now. I'm not going to go into details with the company that I'm now with because I don't feel like it needs to be out there on the internet. If someone wants to come up to me and say, "Oh Mitch, who do you work for now?" I'll happily tell you in person, but I'm just not going to broadcast it on the internet to strangers. I appreciate all of you guys that watch, but it just doesn't need to be out there. I'm more than happy to talk about my past because I do not no longer work there, so it's absolutely fine. So this is where sort of my two worlds collide. On one side, you've got my day job, which I've had from 16, and I've continued doing that throughout the years, 10 years on, exactly. But on the other side, I've got YouTube, which I've done since before 2020, but from 2020 onwards, I've done very seriously and uploaded weekly. So it's been a juggling act since then, and I've just been sort of going to work, doing YouTube videos, and then just literally rinse and repeat that constantly. And it's been good. It's been absolutely fine. But I just needed that break to sort of get my head sorted, focus on my current role that I'm going to be entering. And now I feel like I'm in a better position to continue with the YouTube videos because I'm not stopping. But there was a time in my life that I thought maybe YouTube could become my day job. Maybe I could sack in being a mechanic and I could take up YouTube, still be on the tools, but record the videos and make money that way. And all I would say on that side of things is YouTube is very, very unpredictable. One week you could put a video out and it'll do amazingly, and then the next you put a video out and it'll do like terrible. So you can't rely on that. There's no structure, there's no foundation. For a young person like me and Lauren might want to get a house in a few years' time. Do you know what I mean? You need that constant paycheck every month. And I'm not going to lie, YouTube has paid me well in the past. Sometimes it's matched or gone over my salary for the month. Or sometimes it's been terrible. It's been a quarter of what I earn per month. But either way, I came to the realisation probably a year ago now that YouTube will never be my job, but I'm always going to upload videos, if that makes sense. So that's my laptop gone, and I'm now going to become a stuttering wreck because I've got no bullet points to go off. But that is it. That is the explanation. Yeah, I don't think there's too much to say. I do want to get on with this. My Escort, every time I meet someone at a show, they ask what's going on with a Mark II Escort, and this is my main priority now. So I've got my Mark II Fiesta, which is fine. It doesn't really need anything, just needs a wheel bearing, but I'll get that done. Got me Mark IV Fiesta van, which doesn't need anything fixing on it. It's my daily, that can be pushed aside. And I've also got my Clio 172 Cup, which doesn't need anything either, so that can be pushed to the side. And I'm really going to start dedicating a lot of time to the Escort. The new workshop I'm at actually does shift, so I'll be on earlies one week and then lates the next, and I'm hoping to get out here pretty much most mornings and just crack on with this. Even when I'm off of YouTube and off of work, I'm still a very productive person. That's just how my life is. I like to be, not that I like to be busy, but I like to be doing something. I like to be feeling like I've achieved something. I've been productive today and I've done something. So this escort needs to be done, and I'd be lying if I said I wasn't going to aim for next year. It's a bit too late in the year now for 2025, but 2026 I'd love to get this done. Me and Lauren are going to Australia in January for, I think, five weeks. So that will take a big chunk out of the winter, and I won't come out here in the winter, or I won't get much done in the winter. I'd plan to, but it'd be so cold I wouldn't end up getting a lot done. So we're going away in January, but I'd like to get the full underside done on the Escort before we go away, get it turned around so then I can just wire up the engine, plumb it in. I've still got plenty to do inside, but yeah, the Escort needs doing. I can push my 3 other vehicles aside that I own and just work on this because it's my dream car. It needs to happen. I am going to be cracking on with the Escort next week because I'm on lates. And you should be able to see a Escort video coming soon, but there's going to be, I've got an auction video, I've got me selling my Mark III Fiesta video, I've got another video in the pipeline. I can't even remember what it is right now off the top of my head, but yeah, videos to resume. Thank you all for watching, and until the next one, I'll see you in the next one. Until you in the next one, I'll see you in the next one. It doesn't even make any sense. Thank you for watching, and until the next one, I'll see you guys later.